I'm joined by Mustafa Barghouti, the Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative, speaking to us from Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. Mustafa, always good to have you on the program. What do you think Israel's aim is in northern Gaza right now? Of course, there's much speculation, as we heard there from Ashraf, about the so-called general's plan. Is this what Israel is now implementing there?
Exactly. Israel is trying to conduct ethnic cleansing of the northern part of Gaza because their ultimate goal is the total ethnic cleansing of all of Gaza Strip. But they have failed. They are committing massacres. 286 people have been killed so far in the north of Gaza, especially in Jabalia camp and in Jabalia area. They have been bombarding people with artillery, with tank artilleries, with airstrikes. They use the small drones to go after people who are in the streets and shoot them and kill them. They have besieged and destroyed hundreds of houses. They burned hundreds of houses. And they try to force people out, but people are refusing to leave the north of Gaza. Not a single family has accepted to leave. And as you have seen, the people say, we are ready to die in dignity here, and we will not be evicted or evacuated because there is no safety anywhere. And we will just lose any final shelter that we can be in. So what you see here is horrible. We also received, I just spoke to people in the north minutes ago, and they tell me that there are at least 76 people who are shot and injured and killed in the streets, and nobody can get to them because the Israeli army keeps bombarding whoever tries to get to them. The other horrible thing is that they use civilians as human shields. They arrest people from certain houses, and then they force these civilians to walk in front of the Israeli tanks or the Israeli vehicles while they try to invade other areas. Every humanitarian law, every human law has been violated in the north. People are deprived of food, deprived of water, deprived of sources of energy. And as you can see, they just have to move they try to move from one place to another, but they are rejecting and refusing the plan of ethnic cleansing, and they are ready to stay and die there without accepting the Israeli imposed eviction.
But Mustafa, there seems to be at this point that there's nothing anyone can do about this, because foreign intervention, US intervention, if we can even call it that at this point, doesn't help here, because as you've just outlined in all those points, Israel continues to do as it pleases, especially now in northern Gaza. So what is there now to help Palestinians? Who can help them?
You are absolutely right. What you see here is a combination of genocide, true genocide, combined with ethnic cleansing and absolute collective punishment against the people there, against civilians, against children, against women. And of course, the world community is responsible for that, the so-called world community, but especially the United States and many Western governments who are up in arms if any Israeli is hurt. But when thousands and thousands of Palestinians are killed and injured and their houses are destroyed, they don't care, they don't do anything. And that makes us feel two things. First of all, we are not only encountering the genocide of Israel, but we are also encountering global racism that does not accept or see Palestinians as equal human beings. On the other hand, I don't think we should feel paralyzed. I think there has to be greater pressure through media, greater pressure through solidarity campaigns, greater pressure on all international agencies and international groups, and on the administration of the United States in particular, to restrain Israel. It is not acceptable that this genocide continues in this horrible way while the whole world is watching and doing nothing.
There has been this long-standing push for a ceasefire, not just now in Gaza, but in Lebanon as well. But judging by what we're seeing happen in Gaza right now, it would indicate that Israel has no interest in a ceasefire. What are you hearing about any sort of communication between these parties involved who have been trying to bring about a ceasefire? Has all of that just been put on hold?
It's absolutely on hold. Nobody's working really for ceasefire. And what they try to achieve is to force Palestinians and Lebanese to capitulate to Israel. And of course, that will never happen. But on the other hand, you can see that the fact that there is also war going on Lebanon is used by Israel to distract attention from its crimes in Gaza Strip. And it is also used by the United States to cover up completely their failure in pushing for ceasefire. If we look back now, a few months back, we can see that every diplomatic effort from the side of the United States was nothing but a camouflage to cover up the Israeli crimes in Gaza. All the talks about ceasefire, Biden's declaration, all of that was nothing. It was just a way of covering up the Israeli crimes and putting the blame constantly and always on the Palestinian side. I do believe that the people in the north of Gaza now are heroic in their steadfastness, but what we need now is immediate pressure in every possible way to reduce the pressure on them, to reduce this horrible suffering that the civilian population is suffering from. And at the end of the day, I do believe that all the governments of the world who remain committed to any basic human rights must interfere and take actions immediately, but especially pressuring the United States to stop this horrible policy that made the United States not only supportive, but complicit completely in these war crimes in Gaza.
Mustafa Barghouti, thank you so much for speaking to us live there from Ramallah.